Right. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining us for the Spark Network event. So today we are going to hear from We Found a Circle team about their investment thesis, their ticket size, their investment prospects. They have a slide deck to present, and after the presentation, you can take queries from. You can do. We have a Q&A session. So before we start, I also want to introduce one more important person who has recently joined Spark team to the Spark network. So I'd like to introduce Anand Sridhar. Anand Sridhar recently joined us as Spark coordinator. Anand, would you like to introduce yourself to the alumni group here?
Hello everyone, I'm Anand Sridhar. I've joined recently as a Spark coordinator. Earlier to joining Spark Seed, I was working with the same e-learning session industry. I have 4 years of experience. I was into coordinating programs for pilots, and this is an exciting opportunity. Looking forward to work along with Dinesh, and I'm happy to see all 3 cohorts in this group. That's all about me. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Anand. So you'll be getting a lot of emails and network activities from both of us. And also I'd like to thank Guns who has joined us today. So you all know Guns are Mr. P.R. Ganapati, our regional director, used to take your favorite session on BNC and pitching. And he's also with us today. Thank you, Guns, for joining us.
Thanks a lot, Dinesh. And so for the entrepreneurs who are here, in case there's an opportunity for you to pitch, I want to make sure that you cover the 4 Ts and the 11 slides that we had gone over in our session.
Thank you, Gans. Thank you. And I'd like to invite and introduce We Found a Circle team, Renuka and Bhavana, who have joined us today, and also Ashwin Ganesh. Renuka, can you take over? Can you please introduce yourself and then invite Bhavana? Hi, Renuka, please take over.
Yeah, Bhavna, can you? Yeah. So hi, this is Renuka. I'm a program manager with We Found a Circle. I manage the accelerator program and the investment part of the accelerator program. I have Bhavna, who is a co-founder and also who runs the accelerator program at We Found a Circle and evaluates the pitches and deals that We Found a Circle offers to our community. So Bhavna, let's start.
Yeah, thanks, Renuka. I think Ashwin has already introduced himself. So there are actually 3 people from We Found a Circle team. It's me, Renuka, and Ashwin. But yeah, both of them are very, very active with the investment part and the investment relations. I'll quickly share my screen. Just give me a second. You all can see?
Yeah.
Right. 1 second. Okay, it's full screen now.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. So I'll briefly explain what We Found a Circle is. So as I think Dinesh was checking with you, who all have gone through our website before coming here. So essentially, we are an angel network, right? We started even less than 2 years ago, so 18 months that we have been in existence. We have funded 50 plus companies, which is a very good number for a network that is this young. But the reason we've been able to do that is because all the co-founders, they come from a very, very strong background. It's like Neeraj and Gaurav, like we are 5 co-founders actually at this point of time. We started off with 4. We have Neeraj and Gaurav, they've worked like at least 10 years in as angel investors and in networks, right? They have collectively invested in 100 plus companies. I come from a community and product background. I was in China for the last 6-7 years, where I was building products for India from China. And I was also running a startup community, which was one of the most active communities in the world at that point of time. So was constantly in touch with a lot of founders and, trying to understand, not just from India, actually, from also abroad, and just trying to understand what were their problems and how can we connect them to better funds and investors. So basically a through and through community person. So I'll also, of course, thank this one, Dinesh and the Stanford team for inviting us here. We are firm believers of, community and helping out investors and founders in any which way possible. So yeah, I'll quickly explain what We Found a Circle is. So yeah, our vision is, of course, to invest in innovators and people who are building something unique, right? Either you are building in an industry where there's a lot of competition. It doesn't really matter to us as long as we believe that what you are doing is different from what others are doing. And of course, for investors, we are very sure that we want to invest in companies where they can get some return, right? Because this is ultimately investment. We do look very firmly at if any startup comes to us, how far we can help them in scaling, because ultimately that's only one of the guarantees that we'll get a return, right, for our investors. So yeah, what we do is, because we work as a community, we have to constantly be in touch with a lot of founders and also be in touch with investors. So when we are managing expectations, we have to also be very clear with founders as to what we are looking for, and exactly same we do with the investors as well. And we do groom our investors into making sure that they are not just looking at the investment part, they're also looking at helping the entrepreneurs, whoever they are investing in, right? Because ultimately we want to work like a community, and we want to leverage the power of community when we are helping any startup, right, or investing in any startup. Yeah, so this is just a glimpse of our portfolio. I think if you visit our website or our LinkedIn, we're very active there. You can see these are the companies that we have invested in. When we began WeFounder Circle, we were focused on pre-seed and seed rounds. At this stage right now, we are successfully funding companies from pre-seed to Series A plus. So Blue Smart, for example, is about to do the Series B round when we came into the company. Yeah, so we are very, very flexible at this point of time. Multi-sector, sector agnostic and multi-stage, right? So that's where we are. We are very, very proud to say that we have a very healthy percentage of female founders with us, and we're proud of that. Reason being, I think a lot of female founders also have approached us because they do see a representation in the organization itself, right? So yeah, this is just a glimpse of who we have with us. Several initiatives, like what are we doing, right? We are, yes, an angel network, but there's several things that we are involved in. Again, that goes back to what our vision was when we started with WeFounder Circle. Also, I think we looked at several gaps in the industry, right? Like there is, yes, you need to fund founders, but there's several other things also that you need to do. We were very conscious of the stages at which we want to invest. We were also very conscious of the fact that how do we make life easier for investors? So for the same, you can see that, we have launched an accelerator program wherein we're trying to fund companies as young as like a couple of months old. They're pre-revenue. They are, let's say they're still figuring out the product market fit, but we are more than happy to work with them and help them, get the right mentors, right support that will help them go to at least the next 2 rounds of funding. Then we have also launched a platform for investors who are investing with us, because this is again one of the things that we saw in the ecosystem that a lot of people were struggling with. There are investors who are constantly investing with us. Ashwin here, who's part of the team, is one of those investors as well. Like he has been investing with us and then he joined our team. So I think he can talk about that later. But yeah. So one of the things that we saw was that a lot of investors were struggling with, keeping a track of their investments. For that purpose, we built Invest, which is our platform wherein people from the community can come and look at open deals. It's just investing made easy, right? We are also very, very active with many community initiatives. This one being part of the initiatives that I'm talking about. We are working with IIM Lucknow right now to actually train investors in terms of, how can they start their angel journeys. We are working with Stanford. We are trying to send a lot of deals that come our way that we think that are very good fit for Stanford community, seed community, and Spark community. We send them across to the team. And wherever we can help out besides that, wherein if there are people in the cohort who are ready right now for funding, we are more than happy to look at them. And this is, I think, one reason why we're having this call. But yeah, several initiatives we have all across, different sectors and communities. This is just a glimpse of what our website looks like, and the initiatives that, like, we'll have an app for invest. This is like how easily you can sort of access us. Yeah, and this is about the accelerator. We are just finishing with the first cohort, and these are the 6 teams that we have, and they will be getting funded. A lot of them have already gotten pre-commits, and we will be having a demo day for them very soon. And yeah, of course, with any accelerator program or any community-based program that you're making, right, you need good partners to support you. So some of the partners that we have for our accelerator would be the ones that I mentioned here, this AWS and HelloSign, Make My Trip, etc. So we're trying to create this whole ecosystem of partners, as well as in whenever we have a founder come into the ecosystem, we can provide these services to them. And yeah, just to make their lives easier, because we know the the struggle in the initial few days. Yeah, I mean, this is something that I thought I should mention, that besides, quoting investors and founders, we also quote a lot of people who would want to mentor with our portfolio companies. And yeah, these are just some of the benefits that we give to the mentors. And these are the benefits to the startups that we work with. Some of the campaigns, well, so we do a lot of mobilization in our community, several ways of doing that. So this is just one event. So Oben, one of our portfolio companies in Bangalore, they're the first EV motorbike company in India, and they had a huge launch event. I think that was 2 months ago, and we went there to support them. We invested in them once we went and saw the prototype that they had developed. We were very, very convinced that this is the company we want to go forward with. And they raised like 3 rounds, like super fast. Like right now, couple of, I think more than like around 8 to 10 million they've already raised. And they will of course raise more in subsequent rounds. And this is a story within like 5 to 6 months, right? So this was one activation event that we did in Bangalore. We invited all the investors who had invested with us, and they all of course were very excited to see the journey. And the progress in a couple of months. Actually, that's very rare, the way we planned it. But yeah, it's very exciting. I think when you invest in a company like today, and then I think 6 months later, you actually seeing a launch and a subsequent round happening, and it's good progress, amazing progress. That's one of the mobilization events that we've done. Besides that, because we actually have a community outside India as well. Organically, over the last 1.5 years, we have been getting investors from all across the globe, right? So this is one of the events that we partnered with in Dubai. In Dubai, again, we have a very strong community. We've done 2 events there. We are planning to do even more. UK, US, Australia are again some of the countries where we've had active interest from angel investors. And I'm not just talking about angel investors who are from Indian diaspora. I'm talking about like even non-Indian diaspora investors who are very interested in the deals that we are doing. And yeah, for this reason, we have been very active in mobilizing or doing events, at least to meet people face to face. And also interestingly, when we began, right, it was the peak of pandemic. I mean, it was a risk what we were doing, but more than that, I think we were also very excited with the prospect of how it will turn out. Now finally, when things are sort of settled and we have started to travel, we are meeting these investors and founders face to face for the first time. And it's a very interesting experience, because you've been talking to them on calls and Zoom all the time, but you've not really met them. And we have made most of our investments like that, right? So yeah, interesting point. This is just some stats about our pitch days, right? So the usual format that we follow for our investments is, so we have an accelerator. Besides that, we also have our regular pitch sessions. So regular pitch sessions would be happening for companies that are slightly more advanced stage. For example, they would be in the bracket of, let's say, a bigger seed round or a Series A, like to a Series A. So the valuations could be somewhere between anywhere from a 30 CR to a 150 CR, right? So these are the companies that would fall into the bracket of angel fund or our angel syndicate, right? So these are some of the engagement minutes. These are some of the questions that have been asked. And this just shows how committed our community is. And this is one of the more interesting facts again, right? Once you come to our pitch day, you will see the kind of engagement investors and founders have with each other. Then a little bit more about our ecosystem. Like we invest in so many companies every month, like 3 to 4 at least. And that just goes on to say that we have several partners in the ecosystem, which means that when we are coming into a deal, there will be several people who will be committing to the deal as well. So these are just some of those partners, SOSV, DSG, Sequoia, and there's actually a much more bigger list, IPV, VCATs, this one, Fluid BC, and all of them. Like we partner with several people, co-invest with several people when we do deals. Yeah, I mean, some of the other names are here that I may not have mentioned. Mumbai Angels is there, Let's Venture is there, IN is there. So yeah. Right, and these are the other partners that I was talking about. So investment partners aside, we have partners like AWS, like I mentioned. Yes Bank, we are doing an accelerator program with them for agri-tech. That's underway. We are right now in the stage of selecting deals, and we will probably do a little more announcements about that in coming few weeks. Then yeah, we are very active with the ISB Angels and some of the other business partnerships that we have. So I mean, all level of partnerships we have at this point of time. Yeah, I mean, you can just, these are again more partners that we have, and just different type of partners. What are the next steps? What are we looking forward to? So in the first year of our existence, right? I mean, in first year, we funded 40 plus companies. That actually made us the second most active angel network in India. And we are hoping that we could, keep the title with us. Hence, we want to invest in 70 more companies this year. Out of the 70, I think I'm almost 15 to 20 I will cross this month. 20, I think. And I think rest of them I'm going to invest through the accelerator. But yeah, I mean, very excited to have the kind of coverage that we've had for that. This is the co-founding team that I mentioned in the beginning. So we are, I mean, one of the reasons that we have had a certain type of footprint in the market, the way we have performed, it is because all the co-founders are very experienced. They've all come from, their own investment background, product background. And this interesting mixture has actually helped us to, build the community the way we have done. These are some of the past investments of the investment team, like our co-founding team. And yeah, I mean, that's from my side. It's a very short and sweet intro. I hope you all have questions, and I'm more than happy to answer.
Thank you, Bhavna. Thank you so much.
There was a slide.
One question. Yeah.
Thank you, Bhavna and Renuka. So, folks, can you use the raise hand function so there is kind of a queue so that we know who's talking? Or you can mute yourself. I'll call the people for questions. Thank you. Okay. Saravanan, please go ahead.
Thank you, Dinesh. Thank you, Bhavna. So, basically, it was quite interesting and impressive to actually see a very data-oriented presentation from an investment company. Really great to really see that, and I could see in 1 year this kind of progress I've never seen with many of the investors that I have have been trying to approach and things. So, is this process always through an accelerator only, or how do a startup with in a growing stage go about it? Is there any specific areas that you filter out, or can you throw some light on whether it should always be an accelerated oriented way of inducting, or like what is a commitment? And I can also see that like there is always a guarantee of funding. That is quite an interesting thing. So can you please throw some light on it? Thank you.
Yeah, so no, it's not true that you have to always apply to the accelerator. Accelerator is usually for early stage companies, as I'd mentioned. So these companies would probably be, not exactly with a product market fit, maybe early revenue, early traction. Okay, they're seeing something that's happening in the market. They've built something to show to the investment team, so there are two levels, right? Accelerator, if I have to just talk about numbers, valuation wise, I think accelerator would be anywhere from, up to 20 CR valuation I can take into the accelerator easily. Above that, I would prefer to take into a proper angel round. Okay, that's one, just to understand the stages, right? Because a lot of times what happens is, and you all must have also seen that, companies even at a pre-seed level sometimes have a very mature product, right? Totally depends from deal to deal, because a lot of founders have different backgrounds, right? Sometimes they build a lot and then they do their first round of funding. They're mostly bootstrapped before that. What we look at is, sometimes if the seed round is a big round, right? Some people raise like 10 million and above in their pre-seed and seed rounds. If that is the case, we can take them for the angel round as well. They will not fit into our accelerator. For accelerator, we're looking at companies where we can actually help them with the first few steps, right? So that's broadly how we would go about it. Sector-wise, yeah, we are agnostic. In the accelerator, we will have cohorts which will be specific to some industries, but overall, we are sector agnostic. Does that answer your question? Saravanan? Yeah, I think I can take another question.
Sure, Ishrat. Saravanan, does that, Saravanan, can you unmute yourself? You're not speaking.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Bhavna. That answered the question, and I'll have follow up, directly reaching out to Dinesh. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Saravanan. Ishrat, you had a question on some slides. So
yeah, there was a slide where you were showing like 1.7 crores for lakhs for the startup. That slide, if I can have a look again, because that I think listed out what you are doing for the startup.
Let me check what slide are you talking about.
The first one was 1.7 lakh something. The first point.
It was in between the invest.com evolvex after that, Bhavna, if the sequence helps. There were just statements in our slide.
Is it the benefits for startup slide?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that, yeah.
Achha.
It's after the evolvex and investor slide, Bhavna.
1 second, let me share.
And I think
This one?
No. But this is this is also important because you went through the slides quite quickly. So we were not able to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bhavna, that slide.
This one. 15th one.
15th one? Okay. Yeah. What is the question about this?
No, they just want to revisit the numbers because we gave.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is this 3343 questions asked? Is it like you had this many sessions?
We've had many sessions and this is the cumulative data. So this is across all the sessions.
Okay. So I was wondering, and okay, so if it is a pre-seed startup, what would be, just for an idea, what is, suppose the valuation, as you said, can be say 10 crores, suppose, what amount will you pay and what percentage you will take?
That again depends from deal to deal, right? Because
just give us a rough idea. Yeah, like mine is
we minimum to any company, we give 100K. Okay, that's the goal. And what we would take is, I think we have a success fee model, like a 2 to 3% success fee and sweat equity, if that applies to that deal.
Okay, that makes a lot of clarity. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. Amir, would you like to ask your question? Hey, Amir. You're on mute, Amir.
Sorry, Dinesh. Hi,
Please go
hi,
ahead.
Bhavna. Amir here. I'm a founder of Dipiter, focused mainly on posture care platform for the back tracking, training, and monitoring. My question was related to Sarwan and what he asked. You mentioned that up to 20 CR valuation you do using your accelerator. So when you say you do it using your accelerator, the funds are invested by your own founders group, or in that case also you kind of syndicate with other angels or your partners?
No, that would be through our entity. Like that
Achha.
would be a company investing, right?
Got it. Got it. Okay. ठीक है,
Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah. Thank you. And just quick, how do we just send you the deck, or how do we take it forward? Or do we need to
So
apply
right now, we on the website we found a circle EvolveX. If you're applying for the accelerator, so on EvolveX page, there is an apply now. So we are inviting applications on a rolling basis almost. So there will be a Google form. You can fill that.
And if somebody is coming in the middle, then you will be able to guide whether we should go with whether we should go with accelerator or the angel round.
Yeah. We will do that. We'll let you know. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
Thanks, Amir. Preeti, would you like
Thanks,
to go ahead
Dinesh.
next?
Yeah, sure. So my question is, as you said, you also help the investor. So apart from you, if any more investors are coming in, then do you also assist with that?
So this is what we do in our angels round, right? Matlab, hamare saath a lot of investors would be coming into the deal. So we do manage them
Apart
as
from
well.
your investors, there are some external investors, and in another country, say in Dubai, if somebody has.
Yeah. So our investors are also in Dubai. I mean, our investors are all across the globe. So whoever is coming in, we help them out. Yeah.
All right.
Bhavna, can
So,
I add on?
to avail your.
Can I add on that?
Yeah, can I
Renuka.
just finish? Yeah. So to avail your services, like what do we need to do?
So on We Found a Circle, again, on the website, you can register as an investor. So once your details come to us, one of the members from the investment team will reach out to you and they will explain, how we work for investors. And if there is a pitch day coming in, they will invite you to the pitch day. That's usually the first few steps.
Okay. Thank you.
Renuka, you wanted to add something?
Yeah.
Preeti?
So if anyone is interested in becoming an investor or start your investment journey, we have a program that is going on in collaboration with IIM Lucknow, where there are 4-day sessions where how you can go through a angel investing journey. It's a structured course. So it's called Investor X in our page. You can check out that as well. So there are a lot of HNIs who are investing with us what do I say, in under asset management. They run their own business and there are HNIs who are invested. So they either go through syndicate or through our company. That's where we educate them on how to invest, what are the right ways to invest.
Yeah, so this also, I think on the website, there's a separate tab on Investorpreneur and Investor X. I think there you will get all the information about the course. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Thank you. Preeti, if you don't have a follow-up question, shall we move to the next person?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi, Arpita, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Bhavna. I'm sorry, I had a meeting and I had to join in late. But I just recall that you said you are a sector agnostic. So we come from a nutraceutical or functional food industry. So would that be qualifying it for this as a startup? If we are coming, would it be?
Yeah, you will come into D2C, right? I think you
Yeah,
are
D2C.
selling.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, of course.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Nothing from my side. Thank you, Dinesh.
Thank you, Arpita. Vignesh, you're next. Would you like to go ahead?
Oh, you're on mute.
Okay, sorry. Thank you, Bhavna and Renuka, for the wonderful session. It gives at least an overall idea about WFC. So my question is, we are a startup and we are developing IoT and sensor fusion enabled smart locker. So we decided to devote all our money to the R&D. So we have not established our company as a private limited. We established as LLP so that we will keep all our money invest in R&D. So should we need to convert our company into private limited and apply, or we can still do it in parallel and apply for this?
No, you need to convert it into private limited.
Okay, so before we apply, we should be in a private limited form.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vignesh. I don't see.
Thank you, Dinesh.
No questions.
A long time, yes.
Thank you, Vignesh. Okay. So Selvaratnam has used chat function. Selva, would you like to unmute yourself and ask?
Yeah. Thank you, Bhavana. As you said, it was a short and sweet presentation. We are into used cars. You know that particular sector is booming. Pioneers like Cars24 and Spinny is doing a great job. They all become unicorns. They're the same line and trying to take technology leverage for the benefit of profit making. Okay.
Right.
Still, there used to be cash money, but there are ways of doing it as a profitable. My question is, are you considering our company valuation now around 75 crores and we are looking for a 3 million USD funding? Are we fitting into your type of funding, or I'm just asking a straight question?
Yeah. I mean, you will fit into it. However, I will of course point out, I think we have a similar company in our accelerator. So I think I'll just check if there is no conflict. But yeah, if you can definitely send me a deck and I can go through it. If there is conflict, I'll let you know.
Okay. So anyhow, we have to get your email ID. I think they have to. It's not there.
Yeah, I can share your in the chat.
I'm right away typing it on the chat box, Bhavna.
Yeah.
Both of us
Yeah.
email ID. So you
Yeah,
can
Renuka
share
will.
your feedback and ask us any follow-up question on these email IDs as well.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Bhavana, Renuka. Sony, please go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, Bhavana. Thank you. Just wanted to ask a question. So we are a B2B SaaS fintech. We are a Delaware C Corp with a 100% subsidiary in India. We are just arbitraging the development team costs and all that. So do you actually invest in a Delaware C Corp?
Yeah, we have actually in fact invested in 4 companies out of US. I think that this is something that I forgot to mention in the presentation. We have invested in companies outside of India.
Okay.
That means companies who are right now operational in Dubai, Singapore, US.
Okay.
In fact, even some, the companies who do approach us from abroad, some of them are registered in US, Delaware, C Corp, right?
Okay.
So yeah, we have invested and yeah, we do.
Great.
Consider that.
I'll reach out to you by email. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Sony. And Vignesh, do you have a follow-up question?
Yes, Dinesh. Sorry. So, Bhavana, may I know how often you open the application for the startups to apply for the funds?
It's rolling. You just send us the application anytime. We mostly do reply within 10 to 15 days if there's, because see, right now the way we have invested, right, we have touched upon a lot of sectors. So if like if there is a conflict or if we've already invested, we'll of course let you know. If there is if we haven't invested in the space that you're sending us the application for, then we will definitely consider. We'll have an intro call with either the investment team or someone from my team. We will have the first level of intro call wherein we'll ask you your background, your story, what are you doing, at what stage you're at, what are you expecting out of, We Found a Circle, etc., etc. And after that, we will get some more documents from you that could help us, understand your company a little bit more. And then we will let you know again. We'll do a follow-up call, and yeah, we'll be let you know, so this process takes sort of 20 to 30 days because we have to do multiple calls in order to understand, if we are ready to invest and if you're ready to get you in front of the investors. Yeah.
Thank you. So if possible, could you please share the contact details in the group so that it will be easier once we are ready with the private limited.
It is there in the chat box now.
Yeah, I
In the
just
chat
shared it in the chat box. But when you're writing, just make sure you write about your startup name and the query in the subject line that we can answer to your query quickly.
Sure. Thank you.
All right,
Any other
looks like there is no query on the chat or on the queue. So if anybody would like to unmute yourself and ask any questions, you're welcome to do so now. All right,
Sorry, this is Silva here again. Normally, how much time it takes, like you put 1.7 lakh or 3,343 data. What is the time for a founder to get funded?
So it's a very standard timeline, right? See, if any deal comes to us, I'll make sure that I'll need to check if the documentation from the founder side is ready, because when we pitch a company, we take around 15 days to have a consolidated list of investors. But in order to transfer that money to the company, we need to make sure that there are documents in place. For example, your due diligence reports have to be in place, right? That's both legal and financial. If that is not done, then we cannot really share. I mean, we cannot transfer the money. So depending on how prepared the founder is, it would take anywhere from, let's say, 20 to 40 days. Okay, if the documentation is complete when you're coming to pitch, at that point of time, it will take 20 days max. So we'll get you to pitch, we'll get the commitments, and we'll transfer the money.
So it looks like 2 to 3 months, this number.
No, it's not 2 to 3 months. See, I mean, usually we are not the sole investors in a company. There are several people who are in the company, right? I mean, there are several funds who are also coming in, and that's the usual process I'm talking about. So even if I transfer the whole fund from my side, there is a good chance that the round will not close because there are other people involved as well. So from my side, we will take easily 30 to 40 days is what I said.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. And this is once you've pitched. Before pitching, there's like, yeah, there's the process is like such that we will have at least 2-3 calls before we get you to pitch with us.
Okay. So why I asked this question is in a year, your growth seems to be phenomenal. That's why I thought you were very dynamic and dispersing money.
This time that I'm telling you is actually one of the fastest in the industry.
Good to know. All the best.
Because otherwise you will be stuck for 2 to 3 months easily after the pitch to get money into your account.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
just
you.
to add on that, we have a legal team working all the time with parallel deals, doing their due diligence before they pitch with us. So before you start pitching with us on the monthly pitch to our investor community, there are due diligences happening for your legal team, for your finances, to make sure that everything is in place once your funding or money is coming into the bank.
Another query that I have, you are asking for documents for only seed funding or like, the larger chunk?
That's for any round.
So for seed funding, what exactly you need? Can you share with us?
Yeah. So it's very basic, right? You need to have your legal and financial due diligence in place. Like you've registered the company well, everything is in order and all of that, right? So these reports are usually either, I mean, we have a team who can do it, or there are other people outside in the market, right, who can also produce these reports for you. And these are just formalities. The idea is if you have these things in place, your next few rounds become much easier, because then this just makes our due diligence time slightly less, right? So yeah.
So if it's a new incorporation, then is there an issue? Because
so you might not have financial information if you're very new, right? I mean, there might not be too much data about, let's say, how much money you have, etc., etc. But even then, what is in your bank account? Where are you paying your employees from? Are those regular payments? Like basic stuff like that, that could be checked.
Okay.
Yeah. I see someone has asked a question about if we lead around. I think that's Sony's question. Can I answer that?
Yes, yes, please, please. It is Sony's question.
Yes. Yeah. So he's asking if we lead rounds. Yes, we do lead rounds. I mean, we would be leading, let's say, 20 to 30% of the time. Other times we are usually co-investing. But yeah, occasionally, like we do lead. If we are very, very convinced about a deal, then we don't mind putting the first check.
Hi, this is Ashwin from Iconist. And if it's already due diligence and other things are happening, you said it takes about 20 days, like 20 days to invest. And what about in the cap table? Is it individual? It's a cap table or is it a consolidated one?
It's both, right? I mean, we can get investors on the cap table, or we could put a single check. That totally again depends from deal to deal. If you're coming at a pre-seed or seed stage, we would prefer to get angel investors on the cap table, and then of course the cap table would be revised later on.
And normally it is preferred to have a single.
No, it's not like that.
Right?
I mean, if you want a single check, then ideally you should not be coming to a network, right? Because network just means a group of people, right, who are investing, and these people are, let's say, active investors. I mean, if you're expecting just a single check, then ideally you should probably target a fund who will just cut a check from that thing. But I can tell you from our experience, a lot of times funds have a very rigid thesis about who they want to fund, who they don't want to fund. A lot of companies come to networks because firstly they want to reach a large number of people when they're pitching, and then they also want investors who can add value beyond money. Funds will not do that. A lot of times there will be just one person you will be in touch with. With a network, that's not the case. You will be in touch with at least 100 people at the same time. So if you're looking at a wide reach, okay, if your product is such that it makes sense that you are in front of many people from the beginning of your journey, right? Networks provide a lot more value.
Only thing is here, like if they're investing from different countries, right, managing the investment becomes really a problem.
We do that, right? You don't have to do that. We are syndicating everything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ashwin. I see Sony has a follow-up question. Sony?
No, I think it's just to follow up with what he just said. So you'll be consolidating it in further rounds, right? But like when we go to a series A or B with all.
That totally depends on who's coming and leading your round.
Right.
I mean, we can only have say in the rounds where we come and lead, right? Rest of the rounds like A or A plus or whatever totally depends who's coming in, because the terms change every single time. So if it has to be consolidated, see, if consolidation cannot happen like a base round में 10 people were there, so I will make them into one single entity. It will not happen. You'll have to give exit. So if that is the strategy, and a lot of people will ask you this also, that what is your strategy in the next few rounds, because the angels want an exit at a return, right?
Right.
So I mean, ultimately it's about why you're going to a fund versus why you're going to a network, right? Because like I said, one of the things that we do is we have to manage expectations from the founder side also and investor side. I know a lot of founders come and say that but we only can contribute a single check and all of that. We usually explain them the entire situation that okay, if it's just a single check, then you have to understand that maybe going our route may not be the best way to begin with. And this, I'm talking about very early stage companies, because in later stage I know it makes sense, right? When we're doing a series A and series A plus, we cannot do cap table, right? We have to go through a single check at that. So again, like I said, it totally depends from deal to deal. But what you're saying ki consolidation kaise hoga, later it will happen when there's a lead investor and you can figure out that are you able to give a good exit or not.
So typically one follow-up question there is, what's the time frame for most of the investors in your network?
Time frame, see, any angel investing. I mean, even though with whatever bull market was going on, and I'm saying was deliberately. So whatever was happening in the market, you could see companies actually giving a very good exit even within 18 months, right? I know for a fact that this is not something that is universally true. I mean, if you're joining as an angel, let's say at a pre-seed level, right? It easily takes you 3 years to get meaningful exit, because you have to give time to the company to grow, right? So 3 to 5 years is what I would tell all my angels, despite, whatever sort of market is out there.
Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have another query. So as you said, the terms keep changing and the expectations. So at the seed level, what should be the projection so that the client sees actual potential? We don't want to commit too much, despite the fact that
this is like, I don't know. See, there is a standard for this. See, every industry is different. For example, I'll tell you in let's say in high tech industry, right? I mean, if it's robotics or something, or let's say space tech, you can't give a lot of big projections. You'll give projections, but for a fact that 3 to 5 years the company is not gonna make money. Then now, as opposed to this, think of a D2C brand. They will be making money from day one.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. That's what I
They
meant.
will be making money from day one. Yeah. So again, industry to industry. So there the standards and the terms will differ because you're not like on the same level at all. So we have to study the industry trends for that to understand, what sort of multiples make sense in what deal, right? Because
That's
in
right.
D2C, for example, we know, and we've come across so many companies, it's easy that they're always between, let's say, 2 to 10 lakh per month, like MRR, right? And for us, it's a okay number. Ultimately, the difference is that as an angel network, I can still back you because if I like the product, if I like the founder, I might still consider you. But a fund will say no straight away because for them, that is less. They will not give you any money if they are not short of scale. And scale in D2C is if you're able to, let's say, make at least 1 CR per month. So you have to show them that.
Yeah. To reach that level, it will still take more time, but
right.
potential is there. So I'm just now seeking seek funding because we already have investors who put on top, but the seed is not there still. So because these challenges have been there of new incorporation and everybody is asking for traction. So the previous company numbers don't matter because that's
no, they won't matter.
Yeah, so that's the whole issue. Now registering and re-registering and manufacturing tie-ups have taken a long time. So, but finally we are ready, and we are ready with amazing products and in multiple sectors, not only skincare, which is actually currently at $1 billion valuation in India, with so many unicorns coming in. But we've also developed the charcoal-free incense, which is a little different than what you see in the market. And apart from that, the herbal tea and coffee range. So we have a big portfolio actually.
Yeah, skincare is a very competitive space.
Yeah.
I have right now in front of me at least 2-3 products from 2-3 startups they've sent to, like
I'll
you can try and all. And I can like a lot of products out there. I mean, and everyone is of course having a differentiating factor, right? But I think the fact is that you need a lot of money for marketing.
Exactly.
This is all marketing game. So you need to make sure that you price your products in such a way that you have at least like easily 60% of your income left to actually pump into marketing and smart marketing, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, of course. Please wait for my samples to arrive.
Thank you. Yeah. Any other questions? I don't think there are more questions, right? I think I saw the chat also. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so I think thanks for patiently answering all your queries. And folks, we'll share the recording of the session to all of you. So for reference, and also we'll share the email ID of both Bhavna and Renuka to you for the contact. Right, before we leave, so I have a small poll that I would like to take. This is also to help WFC team. So this poll is about how many of you are actively looking to raise funds in the next 3 to 6 months. Can you please answer this query?
Bhavna, do you want to announce about the second cohort timeline, not like just approximate date so that they can come and look up for our link?
Right. Yeah, so I mean, we have a first cohort, which is almost at the end. We will do a demo day soon. After that, we are preparing to launch another cohort, and approximately, I mean, the time that I'm looking at would be maybe end of June for that. And again, that would be sector agnostic. There will be 6 companies that we will take in. Yeah, and I mean, the details, of course, you can go and look up at our own at our website. Besides that, we will have some sector focused cohorts as well. Web3 for one, edutech is another one, fintech another one. So yeah, we are planning to launch as I just mentioned, like 3-4 cohorts. And yeah, I mean, if you are excited to learn more about it, I mean, we have a form on the website that you can fill, and our team will reach out to you.
Thank you, Bhavna. So I'm going to end the poll now and share results. So I see 13 to 14 companies are interested to immediately raise funds. That's
like majority of them.
That's like out of 25 folks who are here now. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Bhavna, Renuka, for taking all the queries, and looking forward to having more such sessions with you and interaction with you. All right.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavna. That was great. Looking forward.
Good luck, all of you.
Thank you.